Batman and the Outsiders, issue 16, which is written by Brian Hill, art by Dexter Soy, the penultimate, I said that weird, penultimate issue of the series.
Just a little bit of news on this. Obviously, 17 is the final issue.
Mm-hmm.
It was solicited to be Dexter Soy. It's not anymore. They pulled Dexter Soy off, and you've got someone else.
Well, that's a shame.
Oh no.
But hey ho. So this is kind of the wrap up of the fight itself, and this is actually the book I was talking about earlier. I don't know if Matt, you read this, right?
Oh yeah, I read this.
If you agree that it kind of feels like this final issue coming up is going to be an epilogue, kind of setting up where a lot of these younger characters are going to be going next. Like, I would not be surprised, because they've been teasing, obviously, casting the Batgirl outfit for one of the Joker War things. I would not be surprised if next issue she chooses or is given the option of having a bat-suit.
She gets her wings, if you will.
Yeah, because one of the main points of coming from this is that they give her a big showcase moment where she takes on like an army on her own, basically. And Shiva says to Batman, you know, you've not given her enough. She deserves more. And he's like, you're right, she is. So she does. So it feels like they're setting up. It feels like they're setting up maybe her advancing in some way, and Duke as well, to be fair. But Cass gets a lot of the time here. Her and Black Lightning, who Jefferson, you know, is like, hey, I have way more power than I ever. And Batman says, you should be standing next to Superman and Wonder Woman. Like, that's how powerful you are.
I do like that Hill seemed to take this as, I'm like, this is called Batman and the Outsiders, but I really want to focus on, you know, Black Lightning, Katana, and Cass. And that's really what he's done. I mean, sure, this is an Outsiders book, but it's been mainly theirs. And what it means, like, him being a teacher comes up again, and being a principal, and that's how Black Lightning took control of his circumstance. You know, it wasn't like Bruce where he donned a suit to go fix things. As he tried to fix things from the inside out, and that's just who he is. And I love Brian Hill's take on that character. And then just the stuff with Shiva and Cass really comes in. But yeah, this is another one that reads real quick because of Ra's al Ghul. That fight just kind of happens, and, you know, Soy draws it wonderfully.
Oh yeah,
but there's not a lot else going on.
I mean, it cuts between two sides. It cuts between Cass taking on an army by herself, looking like a complete badass, and you've got Raz and Jefferson sort of floating above the city, and Raz basically threatening, hey, if you go through with this, if you fight me on this, like, I'll keep coming for you forever, because you know. And Batman kind of reiterates the same thing after Jefferson blasts him. It's like, okay, we've won today, but now Ra's al Ghul has a vendetta against you, and he's going to keep coming because he's Ra's al Ghul. And he's like, yeah, I know, he told me. But I mean, it really has to be said, the art here. There's a full page spread of Cass fighting like 4 thugs at the same time, where it looks like she's about to like just stomp on some guy's knee. It looks gorgeous. The art is wonderful and really makes the whole book sing. But it is a really quick read because it is essentially, I mean, there's a bit of dialogue between Jefferson and Ra's al Ghul, but for the most part, it's a lot of just really pretty fighting with electrical powers on display. A lot of motion in the Cass stuff. It's just a super pleasing issue, which it does go in very quickly. And it ends with Batman saying, hey, I've got, you know, the Outsiders is a great idea, but you all deserve more. So I've got new stuff for all of you, what your new direction is going to be. And he says, you know, I'll tell you when we get back to Gotham. And that's the final page. It's just kind of him diving off the building. So it's setting up kind of an epilogue issue, which I also assume is going to be like almost a prologue issue to where a lot of these characters are going. And, you know, so, I mean, the different artist is a bit of a bummer because Dexter Soy is so good, but at least it is kind of like a separate thing. You know, it is kind of this epilogue kind of feel to it.
I just checked who it was, and it's Marcio Takara. So it's not a bad artist.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No.
That's all right. But it's hard to really have much of an issue. Maybe you could think, there should have been more of a fight between Jefferson and Raz, but it was more of a symbolic thing with Jefferson, like, sort of utilizing his full power and standing up to him as it was like
standing
an actual
up to
fight.
Raz, and not being afraid, knowing he's going to come, and that's what he's always done. Because I know there's going to be trouble. I don't try to hide from them. I'm right here. So it makes me like Jefferson that much more as a character, you know, which I kind of always liked him, but it was always just like, oh, he's the electric guy, right? And I feel like Hill's really brought like a pathos, if I'm using that right, to him that I didn't know if was there before because I was not familiar with the character. So
yeah, one might say he's the most electrifying man in all of comics.
Comics, yeah, you could.
Yeah, no, I like. I hope there's plans for some of these characters. Obviously, cast more than anyone, but I do. I mean,
yeah,
dropping lines like "you should be standing next to Diana and Clark" is kind of a big deal. It's like a big selling of the character.
Yeah.
So I hope.
And I feel like counter to that is Duke, just kind of there, you know.
So I hope there is a plan for Jefferson in place, and he ends up somewhere in this new phase. Maybe there's a new Outsiders book where he's just the leader of a team that's not Batman associated.
And that would be really cool because I read Outsiders for the longest time, and I just like having that book.
Or maybe
like
they go
books.
full X-Men knockoff and do like a school for metahumans that Jefferson's going to run. I mean,
The Metropolis, the school for talented teens.
Needs a better acronym than that.
It does.
Find the word Titans in there since we associate kids with powers as Titans in this world.
Coming after you can't have school because that's an S. You got to have maybe academy for an A.
Yeah.
Metropolis Academy.
Okay.
Metropolis Academy for talented teens is just Matt, and that's done.
Oh look, how did that happen?
Weird.
Well, I mean, your name's not that far from MIT. I guess this is just the MAT team.
No, I do have an MIT shirt because that's where my stepdad went. So
there you go.
I just don't wear it because I don't want people to think I'm that smart.
Yeah, because they'll just be disappointed. You're going to like give them super high expectations. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't have a sports program that I know of. So it's not like I can wear it, but no, I have it.
You should get like I don't want to insult any particular school here, but you should whoever you think's an easier school get a shirt with their logo on it, and everyone's going to think.
Well, I'm sure there, in Boston there's rival schools at Harvard or Boston University, Boston College. I'm not sure which one, but I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't think Harvard's achieving what I was suggesting there, Matt.
Yeah, well, to some people it could. I don't know.
I feel like Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, any of these ones, maybe setting the standards a bit high before people start talking to you.
That said, I could have gone to Stanford, but I didn't. So turns out they wanted way too much money to go to school there.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Anyway, what you giving Batman the Outsider 16?
I'm gonna give this an 8.
Cool. I'm also gonna give it an 8. But I'm looking forward. I'm really looking forward to what they set up with casting that next issue. All right, cool.